And welcome SFL Nation to the I in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the site of tonight's Week 7 matchup. We have two teams who are going opposite directions, entering the race to the playoffs. It's the 6-1 Vancouver Legion versus the 2-5 Florida Storm. With Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters, Thomas Rahman and Rochelle Colson on stats, this is T. Roy Gaines, and my partner tonight is the legend, Stephen Molinax. How's everything going today, Stephen?
Well, thank you, T. Roy. I appreciate that. Yeah, going great. Really can't wait to see these two get it going on here this afternoon.
Yeah, let's talk about these two. The Legion, unfortunately, suffered their first loss of the season last week against Stephen's Las Vegas Fury, while the Storm needs a win tonight to stay in the playoff hunt. Stephen, what are your keys for victory for both teams?
Well, for Florida, they're really having a tough season coming into this game with 2-5. They need to get their offense going, T-Roy. They have the 20th ranked scoring offense. They need to get more than 17 points out of their team today, and they face a tough battle against Vancouver, who, yes, they did lose their first game after winning 6 straight last week in Vegas. They'll look to get their number one scoring offense back going and back on track and see if they can't quiet the Storm here in Florida.
Yeah, we got a must-win for the Florida Storm. They will get the ball first as we get ready to get down the field and get this start. Ramon Rakowski back to kick it off. And we're underway in Fort Lauderdale. Here we go. Robert Merrill gets it inside the 10, a short kickoff, gets it to the 20, gets it to the 30, bounces to his left, and he'll be stopped at the 33-yard line. Let's go over the offensive starters for Florida. Ron Cochran's the quarterback. Running back is Connor Weston. Fullback J.W. Doyle. Wide receivers are Stephen Bush, Robert Merrill, and Optimus Klein. Tight end is Ethan Sneed. Tight end is E.J. Minson. The kicker's Ethan Sneed. And those are your starters for your Florida Storm. Two wide receivers to the left. Lone running back is J.W. Doyle, as Cochran will do a swing pass to Doyle. No, actually, that's Connor Weston. Swing pass to him. He makes a catch for 4 yards. Second down, 6. Now let's go over the defensive stars for Vancouver. Starting off with Mark Lopez, the free safety, 4th season in the league. Kevin Brackett and Lee Adama are the defensive line. And we got Brian Craven and Doug Day, the Bash brothers at linebackers. Kyler Murray, Dean Maddox on the corners. Ashley Rose Finch and Lincoln Kesey Sr. The safeties, as Cochran fires it over the middle, is caught for a first down at the 47-yard line. This is a good start for the Florida offense. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 47, Stephen.
Yeah, and Ron Cochran, they're really actually the offensive coordinator here for Florida, just giving Ron Cochran a lot of wide open receivers. Allowing him to get comfortable. It's something that he really needs to do and work on this season is his efficiency.
And Cochran will fire it again. Third pass in a row. This time it was pat down successfully by the defense. Ashley Rose Fitch successful on that pat down. And we go over the other stars for Vancouver. The rookie Hugo Reynosa making his first start of his SFL career, along with defensive end Walk Brazier and outside linebacker Devin King. Make sure I recognize them. And it's 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line for the great pat down by Ashley Rose Finch. Ashley Rose Finch led us to this down a distance. Another swing pass to Weston. He makes the catch, gets 2 yards. And they're using Weston as a receiver out of the backfield so far in this drive, this time 2 yards.
Yeah, well, frankly, the Storm have really adopted a philosophy of ignoring the rushing game. The last place rushing offense in the league, only averaging 27 rushing yards a game. So this is a pass-first, pass-only offense.
And speaking of pass-only, no backs to the backfield. 5 wide receivers set, 3 to the right of Cochran as he will fire over the middle. And it's picked off. What a great interception by Vancouver. Putting a halt to this drive, let you know why. They only have 1 loss in the season. Lincoln Kingseed Sr. with the INT.
Yeah, and Kingseed Sr. there just sitting back, trying to cover his receiver. Actually does a wonderful job of just dropping down off the zone and getting in front of the receiver to pick that off way too easy, too early. That's going to be Cochran's 18th interception. in now 7 games. That's unheard of for the multi-time championship winner.
And it's now 1st and 10 for Vancouver with Sulu Nakai. No setback. 3 wide receivers to the right of Tom Pepper, the quarterback of Vancouver, as he drops back the pass, fires over the middle, and it's almost picked off. And let's go over the stars. There's a lot of them for Vancouver. Tom Pepper's the quarterback, number 16. The running backs are Sulu Nakai and Delaney Nash. Wide receivers are Brett Killian, Heath McDaniel Jr., Rich Pratcher. Tight ends are Craig Hurd and Phil Koss. The linemen, Ryan Caudill and Bobo Caudill, are the tackles. The guards are Nick Rose and Beth Harrell. The center is Kathleen Harrell. Those are your starters for Vancouver. As Pepper drops back the pass, fires it to his left, and it's caught! A ball's picked off! What a great catch by Rich Pratcher! Takes it to the 17-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the 6-1 Vancouver Legion.
T-Roy, I'm not exactly sure how Tom Pepper squeezed this ball in there. We're not going to get a chance to look at the replay, but he absolutely feathers this throw into a very tight space from the pocket. Just what a heck of a pass.
And now they're inside the red zone for the first time. This offense looked to recover after that unfortunate loss for them last week. And Sulu Nakai gets the carry. Oh, he spins. He probably didn't have to spin. He would have took it to the house, but he got 8 yards already on his first carry of the game. And here's the defensive stars for Florida. Alice Dominguez, Big Sexy, along with Alessandro Tomamelo are the ends for Florida. Nicholas Warner and Frank Champion are the linebackers. Ryan Davison, the Iceman, and Evan Carroll are the corners. And the safeties are Ryan Tobin, Jeff Malinishin, and Andrew Francis. As Sulu Nakai carries it to the right, breaks the first tackle, definitely gets the first down before he gets his head taken off by Nicholas Warner. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, and man, Vancouver is on fire right now.
Right, and one of the reasons the Legion lost their first game last week, they could not get Nakai going. Only 34 yards on 13 carries, was averaging a paltry 2.6 yards per carry. Looks a lot more energized here.
And he gets the carry again, and he gets stopped basically at the line of scrimmage. Should be 2nd and goal. And last week, it's the 2nd time this season that Sulu Nakai unfortunately didn't get 100 yards rushing. And it's also the 2nd time he got 34 yards rushing. This time in the loss against the Fury.
And that's we had a little spot on Nicholas Warner, the guy who made that tackle. It'll be a big task for him to hold Nakai down.
Well, he gets an opportunity. Nakai got a hold. What a juke! Touchdown, Vancouver! Sulu Nakai makes someone lose his jock strap after that juke there.
Well, you got to love his ability to adjust his course when defenders flash in front of him. He just makes great, quick decisions in tight quarters, boy, and we saw an example of it right there.
Man, Sulu Nakai, one of the best running backs in the league. He's entering this week tied for 1st in rushing touchdowns. And Rakowski's back to kick the extra point. What a juke by Sulu Nakai. I'm hyped about that, and I'm a running back. You know I got to be hyped for them jukes. I always get hyped. As the extra point is good, and what a start by Vancouver. They get an interception by Kingseed, and they convert it to a touchdown by Sulu Nakai. Florida will get their chance to respond after this. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and Florida Fans. We'll be right back. And we're back, and after a nice short touchdown run by Sulu Nakai, Vancouver has the lead 7-0. Florida will get a chance to respond here with 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first quarter. And the kick's underway. Merrill gets it, another short kick inside the 10. He's bouncing to the outside, and when you go sideways, usually bad things happen. And Florida will start at the 27-yard line. And we heard over SFL Discord that 2 players are watching the game for the first time, wearing their nice shirts, and that's the Bash brothers, Doug Day and Ryan Craven. sporting their new shirts, and they look nice, Steven.
Yeah, they do. And I hope you enjoy the show, gentlemen. We do this in part for you.
They off to a good start, stopping Florida on their first possession. And some first down for Florida. And that looks like Optimus Klein makes a 7-yard reception. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Well, the Storm aren't going to change their identity at this point in the season. They are a pass-first offense, as we mentioned before, and that's what's going to get them. That's what they believe is going to get them or give them the best chance to win ball games is passing the ball. But I'd like to see the fullback, Doyle, get involved at least a little bit.
Well, right now he's the lead blocker. He's back to protect as Cochran fires over left. Great pass, and that's a first down. They left Stephen Bush wide open, and Florida will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 42.
And Stephen Bush currently right now entering this week number 2 in receiving yards with 881. Has a chance to possibly reach 1,000 in this game. Certainly someone you should watch.
And they got they got E.J. Minson and Weston in the backfield. Minson gets his first catch of the game. Tries to truck somebody, but he gets gang tackled at the 44. It'll be 2nd and 8.
We got 2 very talented tight ends in this game, T-Roy. We've got E.J. Minson actually leads all tight ends in receiving touchdowns with 5. And then right behind him, Hearn's on the other side with 4 touchdowns. So these guys both teams like to utilize their tight ends in the red zone, in the end zone. Look for them to be targeted a lot when they get on that side of the field.
And Minson's responsible for the lone touchdown in the loss last week for Florida as they going to fire it to Weston, who makes another great catch, trucks a defender and gets the first down. His 3rd reception of today's game. This one for a nice 8-yard gain.
Well, let me remind everyone who wasn't here season, Robert Merrill, their great wide receiver, would play running back. They like to utilize their running backs as receivers out of the backfield. Connor Weston just making a nice turn after catching that ball and getting that first down.
Another great start to the drive for Florida as Ron Cochran fires it. Another out route to Optimus Klein is complete for 6 yards.
Yeah, you feel like Florida is just trying to kill this Vancouver secondary with tiny cuts. They're just settling for what the defense gives them. That is obviously playing back. Obviously, there was an interception earlier when they looked deeper down the field. So as of right now, playing very conservative ball, but it kind of feels like, Troy, that they may be trying to lull this defense to sleep with something big later.
And look at Optimus Klein, 101 down at the bottom of the screen. We'll see if they're going to look his way. No, they're not. They're going to fire to the right. And that was a dangerous pass. Looked like it almost could have been intercepted. I'm a little bit shocked that Stephen Bush didn't try to make that catch.
Well, one-on-one coverage, that's what you want. Bush has been very prolific this season with Florida. So probably an ideal matchup for Cochran, thinking that coming into this game, that's a matchup they could try to take advantage of, but it didn't work out that time.
The former London Knight, Dean Maddox, was the guy who almost came away with that interception for Vancouver's 3rd and 4 for Florida at the 41-yard line. Vancouver, Cochran fires it to the right. Out route is almost successful. E.J. Minson with the catch, but not enough for the first down.
Well, it looks like Minson knew where the first down marker was, but the pass made him come back for the ball just slightly, and that was just enough to now cause this to be a 4th down. Looks like they may go for it, T-Roy.
Now it's 4th and 2. This ain't 4th and 1. They may not try to draw them off sides. We'll see. And if they are, right now Vancouver's doing a great job being disciplined. And looks like Florida will burn their first time out. Will they? Yes, they will. Great job by the defense of Vancouver, forcing Florida to burn their timeout. One of these days, Steve, we're going to see somebody go for it.
And I thought that might be a great opportunity. You're on Vancouver's side of the field. You're right on the edge of field goal range. Even if you don't convert the 4th down, you're still not making it a guarantee that Vancouver would get points out of the turnover. So if they were ever going to try it, that might have been a great opportunity to do so.
And let's get a shout out to Rochelle Colston. Ashley Rose Finch so far in this game has 3 tackles and 1 pat down. One member of our 2-member stats team with Tom Rahman and Tom Rahman and Rochelle Colston on stats as Marcus Agrippa gets a nice punt. Oh, he couldn't stop his momentum from going into the end zone, number 33. Jeff Blishin unfortunately couldn't stop himself from going into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20 of Vancouver.
Yeah, I might have let that one go, Troy. I mean, maybe that bounces out of bounds, and why risk it? But just trying to make the play and couldn't do it.
Yeah, here we go, 1st and 10 at the Vancouver 20. Offset I for Pepper as he fires it to his right. And it's caught for a 1st down. Oh, if he kept his he had a house call for 6, but still a 1st down. What a great catch by Brett Killian.
Yeah, that's Killian's 2nd catch of the game. And you got to feel like the receivers for Vancouver are just really making these plays on the regular for Pepper this season. They are going over defenders, leaping over defenders to try and bring balls in, and they're absolutely coming down with it. It's why Vancouver's just such a lethal passing and running game combined. These players have really been a standouts all across the board.
A huge reason why they're 6-1 as Pepper drops back to pass, but he gets sacked. Took a little bit too much time as number 95 flexing on him with the disrespect. Pierre Lyon with the sack.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of traffic going on here. You know, Pepper's got a lot of that extra protection. You called a lot of names there in the starting lineup, and he's got some great protection, but just couldn't find anyone open in time. Got to get that clock, that internal clock going a little bit faster for Pepper.
And trips to Pepper's left. One wide receiver to his right. Pepper will fire to his left for the out route. Is successful for a nice gain. Rich Patrick made the catch to be 3rd and 9.
And a good opportunity here for the Storm to possibly force this 3rd and 9 and force a 4th down, and get a good stop. And you know, stopping this buzzsaw of an offense, it's been tough for almost every team here this season. Here's an opportunity for Vancouver to prove once again why they're the #1 offense in the league.
3rd and 9 with 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. Pepper drops back, fires it over the middle, it's caught! What a play. I believe that is Rich Pratchett again. Making a huge play. Now they're in Florida side of the field.
Well, we've seen receivers make plays here. It's just pure separation that Pratchett is able to get, and it just gives a wide open window for Tom Pepper. And that, if you're the Florida Storm, that is debilitating, because that was an opportunity to get this offense off the field, and now you got a fresh set of downs.
In his 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line, almost in the red zone once again. And, almost picked off. Evan Carroll had a chance to put an end to this drive, but he's able to do a pat down. Let's see if that'll come back to haunt Florida.
Well, what Carroll did was he used the sidelines as an extra defender, and the receiver just kind of ran out of room, so that route was incomplete. That caused Pepper to have to throw it downfield a little bit further than he wanted to, but right into the hands of the waiting defender.
And it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 26 of Florida for Vancouver as Sudo Nakai gets his first carry of this drive. And nice job by the Florida Storm defense with the gang tackle. Alessandro Tomelo was a part of that 3-man tackle.
And this is a group of defensive linemen, including Tomelo and Dominguez, that has already racked up nearly 15 sacks so far this season.
No running backs in the backfield. 5 wide receivers for Pepper, who fires over the middle quickly and successfully. Another dot to Brett Killian. It'll be 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the 14.
Well, in all of this passing efficiency, you almost forget that Sudo Nakai hasn't been used but just once on this series. Clearly, Vancouver wanting to attack this normally really stout Florida Storm secondary.
Yeah, they see something here as they're going to fire it again. The pass is a fumble. I do not know who got the ball. Looks like Florida has the ball, but I might see a challenge in their future for Vancouver. I don't think he made a football move after that catch.
I agree with you. I just don't. Nice one-handed catch. Actually did get a foot down. Boy, it's a little bit on the replay. It's a little bit closer than I saw it initially.
We'll see if Andy Hamilton is going to challenge it. Yes, he is. All right, here we go. This is a very important challenge here. If Vancouver's unsuccessful, Florida will have the momentum on their side. We're going to get a replay here from 2K Sports. And here's the replay challenge. One more look at it. Nice catch. He looks like he took a step after he tucked the ball in. That could be a football move with Florida's ball, Steven.
Never want to leave it in the ref's hands if you can avoid it.
After review, the play stands. The receiver did not have possession of the ball.
And Vancouver will lose a timeout and possession of the ball.
Wow.
And we're going to take a commercial break. Can Florida take advantage of their opportunity here? We'll find out when we return. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Florida Fans 11 Sports. And after a fumble recovery for Florida, they'll get the ball at the 14. And the momentum's now on their side as they got two backs in the backfield. They're trailing 7-0 with a minute 18 left in this first quarter. Cochran drops back to pass, fires over the middle. He has a receiver! And he's off to the races. E.J. Minson with a great play, a huge play for Florida. They are now in Vancouver's side of the field at the 22.
Well, let me tell you what. Ron Cochran is like a golfer. He knows exactly when to bring out which club out of the bag in order to reach the destination. Here he pulls out that lob club and lobs a perfect ball to his big tight end.
And let's talk about that tight end who went from couch to field. He was originally Florida's running back when they were still in Alaska, but moved to tight end as a contract player. Leads the league among tight ends with touchdowns at 5. Might have 6. We'll see what happens on this possession as Cochran drops back, has plenty of time, fires over the middle, pass is caught. And I believe is it E.J. Minson again? Nope, number 11, Stephen Bush makes that catch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Stephen Bush really been a revelation in this offense. Comes into this game with 55 receptions, that 881 yards that we mentioned. Only one touchdown. Not a lot of touchdowns among this receiver group, which is really unusual.
And it'll be second and 5 for Cochran, who fires it over the middle. Pass is caught for another first down. And as E.J. Minson once again, that should be the last play of the first quarter. And it is. Florida's on the move, knocking on the door, trying to get on the scoreboard. They're trailing 7-0 against Vancouver. We'll be right back. You are watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and Florida Fans. Please stay tuned. And we're back. This is the start of the second quarter, and after a huge reception by E.J. Minson to help get Florida down this field, they are knocking on the door, trying to get their first points of this game, trailing 7-0. Weston's the lone setback for Florida. As Cochran will drop back the pass and fire it to his right. Pass is caught by Klein and could not break the tackle and move forward. He goes out of bounds, making this a 2nd and 4.
Yeah, good plan, though, there by the Storm. Get their big prime-time playmaker, Optimus Klein, on a short little out route. See if he can shake the defender and walk that into the end zone. But just a good job there by Vancouver holding steady.
And 2nd and go at the 4. Weston is still the lone setback. He has a chance to make a catch. He will, and he'll walk into the end zone. Florida is an extra point away from tying this game.
Well, Vancouver's got to be concerned about that full back dive. Doyle, maybe possibly trying to take advantage of that goal line situation there in the middle. So they send their halfback, the one who's been catching all these passes. Actually, that's going to be his 4th catch here so far in this game. They send him out on that little swing route, and he is wide open.
We got Ethan Sneed, the kicker for Florida, going to attempt to this extra point to tie this game, but what a response by the Storm marching down the field. A huge part goes to E.J. Minson with that huge reception. Bad snap. Vancouver had a chance to block it, but the defensive player did not do a second attempt, and the extra point is good, and we're tied, Stephen. That's a good response by Florida.
Yeah, and you know what? It was really led by Ron Cochran. See what type of offense they're running. The quarterback's going to have pretty good numbers. These are really good numbers. 14 of 17 so far in this game, completing 82% of his passes. Does have that interception, but that touchdown now gives him a QBR of 95.1.
And Mark Lopez is back to receive the kick. Another short one inside the 10, takes it to the 20, goes up the middle, and he stopped at the 30-yard line. That's where Vancouver will start their next drive. And SFL Nation, please visit sector6apparel.com for all league and team apparel, including hoodies, t-shirts, team jerseys, and more. Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the SFL. And Tom Pepper and the Legions trying to respond here. Will be 1st and 10 with the game all tied at 7. They at the 30-yard line, the 10:36 left, and there'll be a quick pass over the middle. What a diving catch, and he is safe. Nice play by the backup wide receiver, number 83, Kyle Collins.
Yeah, Collins must have a little baseball in his pass because he was sliding into second there to make that catch. But hey, when you can get role players like that to make those kind of plays, it only thing it does is inspires your entire team.
And it's 2nd and 1. And it'll be a shovel pass to Sudo, and he almost broke that. He at least got the first down. Let's take a look at the passing defense of Florida. Right now ranked number 4 in the league. But you see that they've been struggling last season.
Yeah, and they've actually struggled a bit so far in this game. Before this series, Tom Pepper, 8 of 10 for 118 yards. Doesn't have quite a touchdown yet, but completing 80% of his passes.
And here's another pass attempt for Pepper, and it's caught for a 5-yard gain. A nice start to this down distance to Brett Killian on that out route.
And when you're talking about Killian, you're talking about a killer, an absolute killer at the receiver position. Coming into this game, number 2 average yards per catch, averaging 21.6, and number 5 in total receiving yards with nearly 800.
So you're saying he's been killing the defenses softly with his catches, huh?
Not softly.
2nd and 5. Sudo Nakai gets the carry, but gets gain tackle for only a 2-yard gain, be 3rd down 3.
Yeah, and the Storm doing a good job of bottling up Nakai. When in that first series, it looked like he was going to have those 100, 150, 200-yard games. But now kind of Vancouver has shifted more to a passing attack. They still got to get Nakai heavily involved, though.
And it's 3rd and 3. A very important down distance for Florida. Can they stop Vancouver? Has been on fire. The answer is no. Rich Pratchett makes another catch, and now they're on Florida side of the field at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 there for Vancouver.
Well, Tom Pepper's absolutely Joe Cool. Just got to love his sense of extending plays there within the pocket, and really just had a very clean pocket because of the investment that has been made by this franchise in their offensive line. Really able to hold off defenders, allowing the receivers to get open and giving them more time to do so.
We'll talk about Tom Pepper's career stats versus Florida after this play. Another shovel pass to Nakai. And he looked like he had a chance to break it again. Great job by the defense, making sure Nakai doesn't go off for a huge gain. But Tom Pepper's career stats versus Florida, he's 2-4 against them, 76.5 completion percentage. And he wants to get closer to 500 if they win today. And Nakai gets another carry. And he's still going! Somehow! Barry Sanders-like. You think he will stop for a loss, but he's able to squeeze his way through that massive humanity and gets the first down.
Well, this was hinting at being the greatest play ever here for a second. It found a way through all of this traffic. This is a guy who absolutely loves pinballing through defenders and shows that talent and quality right there. Wow, he almost broke that one.
And Rochelle Colston with the heads up. Both quarterbacks, Pepper and Cochran, are currently over 100 yards passing. And Sulukai reaps the benefit of his quarterback over 100 yards with that nice run. And that pass is complete for a first down and more. He's going to take it to the house. He got speed. What a play by Heath McDaniel Jr. to help Vancouver take the lead again.
Well, McDaniel Jr.'s name has not yet been called in this game. It's certainly being called now. Wow, look at the Jets absolutely to just speed away from the defender. That's just a regular out route there, middle of the field. But you're talking about the third wide receiver being covered by probably a backup defender in some cases, and he just was just absolutely able to destroy the defender with his wheels.
And Rakowski's back to potentially extend their lead to 7, and he does. Extra point is good. And Florida's offense going to have to respond once again. They're trailing by 7, 14-7. We'll be right back. You watch the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and Florida Fans. We'll be back. And after a 33-yard touchdown connection from Tom Pepper to Heath McDaniel Jr., the Vancouver Legion are up 14-7. We got 7 minutes and 2 seconds left in this first half. The exciting one so far here at the I. And Merrill will take it inside the 5. He's now at the 20. Nice little stutter step, and he gets destroyed shortly after that. And Florida will start at the 27-yard line. In the previous meeting between these two teams was a close one. The then Alaska Storm defeated Vancouver 23-21. Oh, we'll get to that in a couple of seconds as Ron Cochran leads his Storm onto the field. His 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. He drops back and fires it to J.W. Doyle, who tries to break the first tackle, but was unsuccessful. Now, Craig Hearn had 121 yards receiving. Evan Carroll had 3 tackles, but the ending was also important. It was a penalty that helped Alaska get the win, thanks to Vancouver making a huge mistake at the end of the game. The now Florida Storm leads the series 6-2. After that last matchup, and Ron Cochran, fires it behind the line of scrimmage. E.J. Minson did his best to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was unsuccessful. It's now 39.
Yeah, we've seen that disconnect between those two before in this game, and then we've seen them absolutely connect on that long bomb that set up a touchdown score. So, you know, it's just that pass was just a little bit behind him. He had to, again, adjust his route past the line of scrimmage, in fact, and try to get back as much as he could.
It's now 3rd and 9. And Cochran needs to look out. He's able to dodge that defender. He had receivers, but he overthrew them. It'll be 4th down. But at least good job by Cochran not getting sacked on that one.
Yeah, you know, just really ice cold in the pocket, able to really keep his composure. But certainly the pressure that Vancouver is applying impacted that throw, and now it's going to honestly cause this 4th down and the ball to be turned over.
And the gentleman who's responsible for the great graphics you see every week, Marcus Agrippa, is back to punt to Mark Lopez. With 6:04 left in this first half. And Lopez will field the punt. Tries to spin away, but it's unsuccessful. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Hopefully his back is okay after that huge hit. And for those of you viewing for the first time, what are you watching? The Simulation Football League is the first controllers e-sport, allowing you, the viewer, to participate in all the action on the field without a controller in your hands. Please visit simulation.football for details on how to get started with a team and in the league. 1st and 10 at Vancouver's 34-yard line. As Pepper gets the pass, fires to Nakai right away. He's able to shake off one tackler, but only gets 2 yards.
And I'm surprised they're not using Nakai more as a receiver. That is actually his, it's going to be 3 receptions. That is probably likely his 4th reception, in this game. And it's just, you want to try to get your best playmakers the ball in all different kind of ways. We saw Sunu Nakai be really effective on that first series on the ground. They certainly want to get him involved in the passing game too.
Entering today's game with 102 yards receiving. Closest damage then as this. The runner, and he has a chance to take it to the house. He's off to the races, got the edge, trying to put a spin move, but was unsuccessful, thankfully, by Ryan Davidson making that huge tackle, huge touchdown saving tackle. But what a great run by Sudo.
Yes, Nakai is the kind of running back that incorporates this kind of slow to fast approach as a runner, right? He kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit as he slowly surveys what's in front of him, and then he just hits the gas, and everybody is just stumbling to catch up.
And he was entering today's game just needing 37 yards to go over 1,000. And I think he's on his way to 1,000 by now. As Pepper fires it, slant route is picked off by Evan Carroll. He takes it to the 40 and gets pushed out of bounds, but a rare mistake by Pepper in this game will give Florida the ball back.
Yeah, and that's going to be Pepper's first interception, and Evan Carroll, a long-time veteran here in this league in his 7th season, able to get his 4th pick of this young season, and turning the tides once again off a turnover, an opportunity here for Alaska to tie it up. Florida.
I know, it's still hard to believe that they're now in Florida after knowing them as the Alaska Storm all this time. As we got a swing pass to Weston, and he's been doing a great job getting yards after the catch. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And Weston, scoring that touchdown off a swing pass. That'll be his 6th reception so far in this game. More receptions than anybody else, even on the receiver corps. So looking to get him really involved in this game.
And it's 2nd and 5 at the 42. As Cochran will fire it to his right. And that it should have been an interception. Ashley Rose Finch was able to get 1 paw of the ball, but should have put 2.
Yeah, and Ashley Rose Finch coming into this game, she had 3 pass defense. She's already got 2 pass defense in this matchup. And it's just, a name that we tend to call over and over and over again. Don't be surprised if we call it on a big play later in this game. She's playing lights out.
Yeah, Cochran was very lucky. You don't want to throw the ball across your body like that. Lucky it wasn't picked off. He gets in the shotgun formation, fires it, out route successful for a 1st down. Optimus Klein, who gets upended after he makes that catch. But now it'll be 1st and 10 at the 50 for Florida.
Well, Klein is used to making these kind of sideline plays. Honestly, his sideline awareness defies explanation. This guy just knows exactly where he needs to be, just has great field awareness, and a guy that you want to have the ball in big key situations.
And EJ Minson and Ryan Davidson in chat says out route for days. They were in sync on that one. Yes, another out route was successful. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. No backs in the backfield for Cochran, who fires it immediately. Another out route. And it's caught by Stephen Bush for 5 yards.
And actually, Troy, I think that play actually called for a slant, and Cochran audibled at the line for that to be an out route because he recognized how far off Vancouver's secondary was playing, giving a lot of respect to Bush and him as a vertical threat. So Cochran really making that call.
They don't call him the Riverboat Gambler for nothing. Another great pass for him. This time it's a play action to Weston. Another out route, and it's successful. It's a 1st down. Optimus Klein was able to do the toe drag swag on that one.
Yeah, and I know that we see a lot of the out route, and we've got people in the chat talking out route or this, that. Then stop it. Then go ahead and press man. Let's bring the defense down, stop those out routes, and see if you can prevent them from burning you down the field.
Weston's lone setback for Cochran, and it's another swing pass to him. He got one-on-one situation. This time, unsuccessful. What a play by Brian Craven, who makes the tackle on that one.
Yeah, and you know what? Craven, he might be the most versatile defender that we've had in a long time. His stats are incredible, especially the fact that he has 3 forced fumbles and so far this season, the most of any defender in the league.
Offset eye with J.W. Doyle leading the way. But it'll be another pass by the Riverboat Gambler. Was able to avoid 1 sack, get the pass off. At least that made the loss only a 1-yard loss instead of worse. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, kudos to Cochran for even getting that ball away. I mean, he was halfway falling to the ground when he actually threw that ball, and it was accurate enough to hit his intended receiver.
And when Florida gets back on the field on defense, we'll talk about something here with one player against a former team. But right now, it's 3rd and 11. Cochran fires over the middle, and he's lucky that wasn't picked off. We have reached the 2-minute warning. It'll be 4th and 11. Will we see a field goal attempt? We'll find out when we return. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Florida Fans 11 Sports. And we're back. It's 4th and 11. And Marcus Agrippa is now back to punt. For the Florida Storm, can he pin Vancouver deep inside the 10? Mark Lopez will be back to return this kick. And Agrippa kicks it off. Nice high foot short kick, and smart play by Mark Lopez just to make sure that ball doesn't take a bad bounce. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 16.
Yeah, Agrippa there, I think that's a disappointing punt from him. Just didn't get all of the ball there. You want to try and coffin corner it, and as a one of the better, if not the best punter in the game, probably expect a little better.
After today's game, the Scorpions and the Fury will play after this game. Another shovel pass, and the guy almost broke that one. Another 2-yard gain. I don't know, Steven. I think the shovel pass needs to be taken away. He's only getting 2 yards each time.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time to try it. And let me tell you what, Pierre Lyon, number 95, the defensive tackle, has sniffed it out the last 2 times. I think he's on to it, recognizes the formation, and it's when it's one-on-one with Nakai there, he's been able to win that battle.
And Cyril Nakai went over 1,000 yards on the previous possession with his long run. He gets a swing pass for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 8. And I just mentioned this in the previous possession. Frank Champion, the linebacker for Florida, used to play for Vancouver. I'm sure he wants to get revenge. He's trying to motivate his team to stop him here on 3rd and 8. Very important 3rd down for the Storm. See if they can get their team the ball back, a great field position, but Pepper fires over the middle, and it's caught for a 1st down. The drive stays alive, and they in hurry-up mode. Heath McDaniel Jr. with the catch.
Oh, an absolute pinpointed pass there.
And, ooh, that was almost picked off. Jeff Belinishin with the pat down.
Yeah, and that was just a dangerous play. You know, what they tried to do is Vancouver had success on that same exact play on the previous play, and they're trying to catch Florida's defense off guard here by going to that no huddle, but they recognized the formation, did a great job of batting that ball away, and makes this 2nd down.
Let's get a shout out to Iceman, Gervin 44, Minson Mine, D-Day 54, Hike to Earth, Suicide King, Rob Roy 8891, amongst others on the FTF Next chat as Pepper fires over the middle. Dangerous pass. There's a flag. If this is PI, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah, it looked like the defender had every right to try and catch that ball as well. It is going to be pass interference.
And unfortunately, Nicholas Warner is the culprit for Florida. This will extend the drive, and that's not what the Storm wanted.
It looked to me that he was going for the ball and not necessarily impeding the receiver in his progress, but apparently the ump sees something we don't down there on the field.
Maybe the ump was trying to pay Andy Hamilton back with those Cade Stephen catches not being called inbounds. It's like, hey, we got to give them some love in this game.
Dipping into the history.
And here's an out route, successful for 6 yards, but he stays in bounds. They're going to go back to the hurry up with 45 seconds left. So far, good time management for Tom Pepper and the Legion. And Sudo Nakai has plenty of room to run. And he wisely go out of bounds. Only 10 seconds left from that previous play to that one. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 34.
Well, only having 36 receptions coming into this game, you wonder, these are the kind of plays that they want to get Nakai in on passing guy who is an incredible running back, and he's so aggressive when he has the ball in his hands. You don't want to get in his way.
And it's now 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. They are now in field goal range, but they want to get 6. Can they march down the field on a nice 2-minute drive and add on to their lead up by 7? As Pepper drops back, fires it before he gets hit to Killian, who's made the catch but did not go out of bounds. 28 seconds left. Killian needs to hurry up. And he does. Trips to the left of Pepper. Play action pass. Pepper fires it to the right. It's caught by Rich Patrick. Will they call a timeout? They will. At the 19 with 15 seconds left. And Vancouver's passing offense has been on point so far.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. They've got one timeout. You think maybe they take a shot in the end zone, Troy, or will they just settle for a field goal at this point?
And I'll take that back. That was Craig Hearn, the tight end, who makes that reception at the 19-yard line, and looks like they're going for the field goal. Ramon Rakowski is out for the field goal attempt. A 36-yard attempt to give Vancouver a 10-point lead with 15 seconds left in the first half. And the kick is up. Got it. And they extend their lead to 10. It's 17-7. And Stevie, do you think they had a chance to at least try one more play before the field goal attempt there?
Yeah, I think they're playing a little bit conservative. They're going for the sure points there instead of maybe trying for more. Probably just really happy here playing an away game on the road. They know the history of this Florida Storm team, how they have, traditionally came back from these kind of deficits. So getting as many points stacked against them as they can before halftime is probably the goal.
Now, Robert Merrill has a chance to return this to the house with just 9 seconds left in this first half. He did a good job with a couple of jukes, able to move forward to the 30-yard line. And we got maybe 1 or 2 plays left for the Florida Storm offense. Can they get in field goal range to cut in this deficit or take it to the house with a huge play?
Yeah, they want to pass.
And for the most part, they've been successful, minus INT by Cochran. But, this looked like it could be a run. 2 backs in the backfield. Nope, they're going to pass again. Oh, and they're lucky.
Yeah.
That wasn't picked off and take it to the house. Weston had Butterfingers for the first time.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you have this kind of all-pass offense. You get in these kind of situations where if that was tipped into a defender's hands, that absolutely destroys Florida going into halftime. Not sure if they would have recovered if that was a pick six.
Now they got 2 wide receivers to the right of Cochran. Weston's lone setback. 3 seconds left before the first half is over. Cochran fires it right away, and another dangerous pass that should have been picked off by Ashley Rose Finch, but that's how the first half will end. We're at halftime. A game that so far has been entertaining, but still dominated by the Vancouver Legion. They're up 17-7, and Stephen, right now, Tom Pepper's been on fire with over 200 yards passing in this first half.
Yeah, and I expect it to skew a little bit more Sudinokai's way here in the second half as they try to salt away this game on the road. But you're absolutely right. Tom Pepper has been outstanding in this game. 18 of 24, completing 75% of his passes. Has a touchdown. He does have that 1 interception. But the honest truth is they haven't gone to Sudinokai much in this game. Just over 50 yards rushing. Does have that rushing touchdown, but only 8 attempts. I expect that to possibly even double here in the second half, but you got to be careful. This is Florida, after all. They are playing at home, and this has not been a bad offense from them today. They have taken what Vancouver's defense has given them. They have benefited from those turnovers, like that fumble recovery that we're seeing right now. And Ron Cochran has been the Iceman in a lot of situations, trying to make things happen. Looked a little shaky there at the end of the first half, but plays like the one you're seeing there on your screen to Minton, that big bomb, really have turned this offense around.
And I'm also shocked. We've been saying this throughout the whole first half, but Florida so far has no yards rushing. Maybe the defense of Stars of Vancouver basically forced the hand of the Storm to make it an all-passing first half. What are your thoughts about that? I'm kind of shocked that they haven't run J.W. Doyle at all as the bell cow.
Well, if you're going to be a one-dimensional offense, that one dimension better be great. And so that's what they're hoping for. And, in this situation, down by 10, partly due to the fact they're not running the ball, giving Vancouver's offense so much time to score, this plays right into the Storm's hands as far as getting back into this game. How are you going to make up the 10-point deficit? You're going to want to throw the football.
And both running backs combined for 9 touches as receivers out of the backfield. Weston has 7 of them for 22 yards and that nice touchdown in the first half. But Vancouver gets the chance to double dip. They'll get the ball first. And we're underway. Snead kicks it off to Mark Lopez, who takes it inside the 5. And he was able to get it to the 24-yard line. That's where Vancouver will start this down and distance. And follow the SFL on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and more, all at Simulation FL. Make sure you catch more content like The Kramer Show, game highlights, and more by subscribing to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a moment of the action when we're not on television. It's now 1st and 10. At the 24-yard line, Sudinokai gets his first carry of this half and gets 4 yards on that one, making this a 2nd and 6.
Well, let me just tell you how talented Nakai is. His blocker, the pulling guard, actually missed his block entirely, but Nakai was just so quick that he was able to get past that first defender behind the line of scrimmage and make that a gain of 4.
Now, I know I said in the preseason game that Robert Redford's the closest thing to Barry Sanders, but I had to take that back. Sudo Nakai is the closest thing to Barry Sanders with those exciting runs like this one. He's able to juke his way to another first down. When you thought you got him tackled, he finds a way to break free for a huge gain.
Well, you're right. You compared him to Barry Sanders. I mean, he is absolutely, Nakai is a game-breaking playmaker that is a threat to score anytime he touches the rock. And boy, just showing his ability there to really pinball off defenders, which we talked about earlier, and he's shown it throughout this game.
He's now at 70 yards rushing, averaging 7 yards per carry. Offset I, and he'll get another carry. He follows his fullback and gets 4 yards. Maybe he didn't think he had the speed to bounce it to the outside, so it might be a smart decision to go up the middle.
Well, he has great spatial awareness there in tight quarters. And in that particular play, he saw the defender crashing down on the blitz on top of him, able to just make a gentle cut to the inside. And again, gaining yards. I mean, this guy, he is a pile pusher. He will get you those extra yards.
And he can put games away, especially in the second half. But right now, Pepper fires it. Out route somehow is successful. Craig Hearn makes a great catch in spite of the fact there were 4 Florida Storm defenders covering him.
Let me tell you what, these wide receivers and tight ends for Vancouver, they have been hotter than fish grease this entire season. I mean, they are making plays, and Pepper is dotting I's out there on the field. It's just been a wonderful combination and a joy to watch.
Hey, fish grease and it's lint. How about that? I like that. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Florida for Vancouver. And Pepper fires over the middle. And another one-handed catch. This time it was successful for a 7-yard gain. Rich Pratchett makes a great catch, and the ref was very generous with that spot.
Got to be careful about those one-handed catches. We've already seen one fumbled away to the other team. And we see another one. They look spectacular, but I know that the coaches are on the sideline. As a coach, just cringing every time we see one.
And Sunokai gets the carry. And this time he didn't bounce it to the outside, and he pays for it. It'll be 3rd down and 4, a 1-yard loss.
Well, Nakai not getting a lot of help there as his blockers really missed both of those defenders, and they were able to crash down on Nakai very quickly.
And I have to laugh at his chat. We'll talk about that after this play. Coach Craven said that Doug found the Twinkies, the Bash brothers, having fun, watch this game together. But we got a 1st down after that great catch. And the ref 43 gets knocked down twice during the same play. Everybody press F in the chat for ref 43.
Well, look, Pratchett runs a terrific route. He is absolutely wide open, but you got to think the defenders might have been distracted a little bit by the black and white stripes being flailing there in the middle of the field twice. Do they drug test refs? Because they might need a scope.
Oh, man. Poor ref 43. And Nakai for him because he gets stopped for a 2-yard loss. Nice game tackle by the Florida Storm defense. They don't want Nakai to go over 100 yards today.
Well, the Storm defense understand the situation just like we do, Troy. They know that Vancouver wants to run the ball. They've run the ball more in this series than we've seen them do in that first series. So they have a clear plan of wanting to get Nakai involved here in the second half, and Florida knows that. Jeez.
And it's a quick pass over the middle, and it's caught again. Tom Pepper is dotting the defense of Florida up. Brett Killian, the 6'5", 222-pounder, making another catch.
Yeah, look, and Pepper just has really an off-the-charts feel for the game right now. I mean, he is absolutely dialed in. I'm not sure there's any defense in the league that could defend some of the passes that Pepper is throwing in this game.
And he is on fire in spite of the fact that he's in enemy territory. He's just dotting up the Florida Storm defense. Can they respond and hold them from getting a touchdown? Oh, that was a chance for them. The Iceman, Ryan Davidson, had a chance to take it to the house, but he just got the pat down.
Yeah, and Davidson, 3 interceptions coming into this game, has a defensive touchdown. Woo, that could have been his second if he got his paws, both paws on that, was able to grip it in. But boy, dangerous, playing a dangerous game there with that throw.
It is now 2nd and goal. Will that missed opportunity come back to haunt Florida? We'll see as Pepper fires in the end zone. And incomplete. You only need 1 foot down to make a catch, and the ref 62 says no, sir.
I don't know if I don't challenge that one. That's worth points on the board, and they're not going to challenge it. I thought he got his foot in, but they must see something I didn't see.
Yeah, I thought so too, but Florida Storm has a chance to hold the Vancouver Legion to a field goal attempt. It's now 3rd and goal at the 6. 6:28 left in this third quarter, fast-moving third quarter. Pepper gets the pass, gets the snap, and we have a one-handed catch for 6.
Wow.
Heath McDaniel Jr. gets his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Well, McDaniel Jr. scored the last time he was targeted. That's all he does, T-Roy. He scores touchdowns. He did it with his feet the last time. He does it with his hands this time with the one-handed grab. And I'm sure the coaches like me were going, ooh, and then, oh, yeah, touchdown.
And he's wearing number 80. He may be the Chris Carter of this league. All he does is catch touchdowns. As Vancouver extends their lead. And Rakowski will attempt the extra point. And the kick is up, and it's good. Florida has to respond on this next possession to stay in this game. They're down 24-7. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and Florida fans. After the 2nd touchdown today by Heath McDaniel Jr., the Vancouver Legion are up by 17. It's 24-7 as we get ready for Robert Merrill to field this kickoff inside the 5. Gets it to the 20. Bounces outside again. Breaks another tackle. If he had run up the middle, maybe he could have took it to the house, but Florida will start at the 34-yard line. And we're going to take a look at the sack leaders entering this week in season 14 and we got 2 players actually. Lee Adama and Alex Dominguez, 2nd and 3rd respectively, coming into this week.
Yeah, and haven't called their names yet in this game. Surely going to have an impact. There's a sack.
And is it Adama? Yes, it is. Lee Adama gets his first sack of this game.
Well, those graphics and the performance of the players are matching perfectly. There's Adama gets another sack. This guy's been an absolute beast. It was just a matter of time before we called his name. Certainly, though, he's been impacting the game in ways that aren't on the stat sheet.
As Cochran fires it over the middle, it's caught for a first down. And it's Optimus more than meets the eye. Clyde makes the catch. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 47.
Klein just running a little slant route here, just wide open in the midst of this secondary. Wow, where are the defenders? Maybe the stripes too much. So we saw that, maybe wondering if he's going to flail around again. But Klein just usually is money on those out routes, but you can't forget him on those deep routes and those slants as well.
Yeah, he was a former tight end, moved to wide receiver. Making great plays for the Florida Storm throughout his career as J.W. Doyle gets his first carry of the game. And the stat sheet stuffer, Mark Lopez, stopping for a 1-yard gain.
Well, that's the first time we've seen them actually run in this game, and it's curious because of where they are, the situation of the game, and the score to try to now implement a run game. Just really interesting.
And they got split backs in the backfield. Optimus Klein to the right. of Ron Cochran. It's now 2nd and 9. Fires over the middle. Is that going to be picked? Yes, it is. Tip drill successful. Number 33, Dean Maddox, makes his first interception of this game.
Well, Dean Maddox has really made a name for himself in this league this season. I find myself calling his name a lot in these games, and there it just bounces off another defender right into his hands. Gift wrap.
If Vancouver has a chance to put this game away, we'll see how they respond after that turnover. We'll be back. You're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans and 11 Sports. And after an interception, Vancouver now has the ball, has a chance to extend their lead. They'll give it to Sudo Nakai, who bounces to the outside. Almost broke it. It's a 4-yard gain instead, and the biggest little man is on fire, going over 1,000 yards this season. But he's a threat to take it to the house basically every time he touches the ball, Steven.
Yeah, and you're talking about a guy who now is going to be approaching the 100-yard mark in this game, and really hasn't been used as much. There was just his 15th carry.
And he won't be used as a bell cow on this one. Instead, it'll be a swing pass to the fullback. Delaney stays in bounds. Nice twinkle toes by him. He gets it to the 48-yard line where it's 3rd and 2.
Yeah, very close. Good balance by the big fella. 6 foot, 245 pounds. Somebody you don't want to be seeing running downhill at you for sure.
And Vancouver just got so many weapons on offense. The receivers, the backs, the quarterback, the line. Everybody on this team is a weapon. As Nakai gets a nice spin move to help him get the first down. And now they're on the 45-yard line of Florida, potentially knocking on the door again.
Yeah, ironically, the biggest player on this entire offense might be the smallest one, 5'7", 210, Nakai. Really a bowling ball of a type of a player, and you wouldn't know that by the way that he absolutely destroys defenders sometimes.
And he'll get the ball again, and we'll be able to squeeze through. He's able to carry a defender and gets 5 yards. He's at 84 yards rushing. And Stephen, here's an interesting fact. Barry Sanders was 5'8", 200 pounds when he was in the league. Nakai is just 1 inch smaller and 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah, Nakai's got a long way to go before he meets get those Sanders numbers for sure.
Well, he definitely has a good start so far. And, that was a huge opportunity for Florida to get the ball back. Pepper overthrow his receiver. It's now 3rd and 5.
I'm not sure if he actually overthrew him or that Killian came up a little bit lame. I think I saw him grip at his hamstring a little bit. So maybe just felt a little bit of a pull, and that just caused him not to complete his route. Could have been the defenders that were in front of him that just kind of halted his route. So a lot of things happened on that play.
3rd and 5, 3 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Important 3rd down for the Storm's defense. Can they stop Sudo? Yes, they can. A nice job by the defense with the game tackle. Number 99, Frank Champion, gets paybacks against his former team.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator bringing the house there on that play, expecting the run, and they cashed in here with now converting, making this a 4th down.
Jess Johnson, the 6'2", 215-pounder, will punt to Robert Merrill. And here's the punt. And Merrill decides to let that bounce, and that works in his favor. Unfortunately, number 20 couldn't hold the ball. That was Trey Lawson, couldn't keep it inside the 20. We'll be back. Florida has a chance to cut into this lead. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and Florida Fans. Please stay tuned. And here's a huge opportunity for Florida to cut into this lead. They're trailing by 17 with 3:26 left in the third quarter. Split backs in the backfield. Optimus Klein is the receiver on the right of Cochran. They'll start this possession at the 20-yard line. Cochran drops back the pass, fires it to Weston, who's been doing a great job with the catch. Oh, and a nice stiff arm. He couldn't stay in bounds, otherwise he could have gotten more yardage. It's now second in inches. I thought he got the first down, Steven.
Yeah, I did too. Just a nice individual play. But here's the issue, I think, with what's happening with Florida. They're lining up in more traditional tight sets, more like running sets. And as they're doing right now, Vancouver is out there in a nickel. So they don't expect these guys to run at all.
And they're going to run here with J.W. Doyle. He gets stuffed shortly after getting the first down. And I believe that is one of the Bash brothers, Doug Day, with the tackle. But let's also look at the impact players for both teams. We're going to talk about Mark Lopez, who already got the first tackle on J.W. Doyle earlier in this game, and Ryan Tobin for Florida. We'll take a look at that after this play. It's now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line with a minute 40 left in this third quarter. Ron Cochran will fire it to Weston again. With a nice juke. He is juking them out of their jock strap. But we look at the free safeties that you don't want to test, Steven.
Yeah, you're right. Both of these free safeties are absolute interception monsters coming into this game. The 5th and 6th most respectively. Guys that really could have an impact on this game really need to really step up on the Storm side to get them back in the game.
Let's see what happens here on this 2nd and 3. Fires over the middle. Pass is caught for a first down at the 48-yard line. Pass is caught by number 12, Robert Merrill.
Yeah, you know what? I want to go back to that play where Doyle got the first down. That's the type of strategic play the way that I know that Florida wants to run the football in those kind of ways, and they just haven't been able to really establish that in this game.
Trips to the left of Ron Cochran. Optimus Klein by himself at the top of your screen. Will he look towards his way? We got a play action pass. He does look towards Klein's way, and toe drag swag catch is completed again for 8 yards.
Yeah, for a team that doesn't run the ball enough, or a lot, I should say, not enough, but a lot, you wouldn't think that the play action pass would be successful. But in this particular case, he was wide open.
Now, last week when I called the game, the refs called that type of catch incomplete, but they loving Optimus Klein on that catch. A nice catch by him. It's now 2nd and 2. Cochran fires it to guess who? Optimus Klein once again. This time, they're short of the red zone at the 22-yard line.
Well, these are the kind of opportunities that Florida needs to get back into this game. Just a nice post route there to Klein, and a great connection between these two guys who have connected in the past for 3 straight championships.
And Ron Cochran with that completion is now over 200 yards passing, thanks to Tom Rahman in stats, as well as Rochelle Colston, as Cochran will fire over the middle to Optimus Klein again. And he's now over 100 yards, and that is a nice way to end the third quarter. The Florida Storm has the chance to cut into the 7-point lead. Everybody put your force up in the Florida fans chat. Can the Storm mount a comeback? We'll find out when we return. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and Florida fans. Please stay tuned. And we're back we're about to start the fourth quarter with the team who's been responsible for one of the greatest comebacks in SFL history. This time they're just trailing by 17, and they got a chance to cut into this deficit. The Florida Storm will have the ball. It's first and goal. Another out route, and that is almost intercepted. Caught. Optimus Klein had a chance to get the reception for 6, but he couldn't come up with the catch.
Yeah, Stephen Bush was actually the intended receiver, but ran out of bounds as his route just led him that way, and his defender dropped off to knock that ball down, and Klein almost got it.
Second to go at the 8. Weston the lone setback. There's 2 wide receivers to the left of Ron Cochran. He'll drop back the pass. Fired to Weston. They got 6 the last time he caught it, but not this time. Great job by Dean Maddox putting the hit on number 40.
Yeah, T-Roy, but I like the idea. We've seen Weston make some incredible plays there off those swing passes where he's actually been able to stiff arm guys, able to really tiptoe the sideline. So good thought, but third down.
And we got a play action pass. Cochran fires over the middle. It's caught for a touchdown right there. And they will cut into this lead after that nice play.
Well, is it really all that surprising that when they need a big touchdown, they look to Robert Merrill, number 12, his 7th season in the league, has been one of the best receivers in this league for a long time. A little bit more of a subdued role here this season, but certainly an effective one.
And Stephen Robert Merrill is the shortest receiver on Florida at 5'11". Everybody else is no shorter than 6'3". Out of the star receivers as Snead kicks the extra point and cut this lead to 10.
Yeah, but remember, Merrill was a former running back on this team. They just like him as an all-around athlete and weapon. They just want to get him on the field, get the ball in his hands so he can make plays. Certainly made a huge one right there.
Yeah, he didn't have a touchdown last week, but he had over 100 yards of total offense, 54 yards receiving, and 85 yards as a kick returner for Florida last week. He made an impact on this one as Mark Lopez put a spin move on the Florida defender, able to get to the 28-yard line. And the Vancouver Legion with Sulu Nakai will be back on the field. We'll see if they got a chance to use the biggest little man. Number 44, maybe the next Barry Sanders. We'll find out. Will we see him get the ball to help run out the clock? Looks like it with this formation. First and 10 at the 28. Nakai gets the carry and moves ahead for 3 yards. And, well, he's now over 1,000 yards, but he's first in the league in both yards per carry and touchdowns among running backs.
Yeah, Nakai having an unbelievable season was for much of this season was the rushing yardage leader. Has lost that now to Zach Sandlin after a big, nearly 300-yard game by the big guy.
And pump fake was almost picked off by Frank Champion. He had a chance to cut into this league. A missed opportunity there makes this a 3rd and 7 for the Vancouver Legion.
Yeah, and for the Storm defense, there's just too many almost in this game. You know, just too many of those chances that they had to pick the ball off that they just couldn't follow through with.
And folks, this game's not over. It's only a 10-point deficit. We got a very exciting game before this one. That was a very close victory. But right now, the away team here, the Vancouver Legion, will extend this drive after that nice catch by Brett Killian.
Yeah, you're talking about that earlier game that was the Sioux Falls Sparrows falling to the Baltimore Vultures, and that one came right down to the wire. And actually, that final drive, Sioux Falls had an opportunity to win the game, but threw a costly turnover, an interception right at the end of it.
Let's see if the Florida Storm can make a comeback here. That's a good start, stopping the biggest little man. That was it is number 36, Andrew Francis with the tackle.
And Francis, a former linebacker, you see why, able to make those kind of tackles coming into this game. averaged 8.6 tackles per game with 60 total.
And we got an interesting little stat I'm going to mention after this play as Pepper fires it to his left. And it's gone! Oh my God, Rich Patrick climb the ladder and make a catch.
And these receivers again come to the call and the aid of their quarterback. Tom Pepper laces one between two defenders. Oh my gosh. How did he get that ball through that sea of hands?
We got two interesting stats now. Pepper's now over 300 yards passing. And Andy Hamilton got 3 generations watching the game with him. His dad and uncle or grandpa is watching this game here. And I know they love what they're seeing right now. They'll really love it if it's going to wind up with points. Is another first down is made by Brett Killian. Another great catch.
Well, Killian is putting on a show for Pop Pop, that's for sure. Actually, all of these Vancouver receivers have been they've just stepped up their game this entire season, and they're just making these amazing plays on the regular. Hello, Pop Pop.
And thanks for tuning in as you're about to see Sulu Nakai gets the carry. And believe it or not, I don't think he needed that spin. If he did not spin, that was a house call.
I think you're right. That's one of the times where all those fancy moves do you no favors, as spinning back inside, really, he just met the defender when he could have just used those jets to probably get in the end zone.
And I love his face mask. I grew up as a Redskins fan of that other league, and his face mask reminds me of Joe Washington, the running back in the day. Sulu Nakai's face mask. He's been playing just as well as him. Oh, and that was a bad pass. Thankfully, it wound up incomplete. It'll be 3rd down 6 for Vancouver.
Yeah, and luckily that misconnection isn't going to cost Vancouver, just cost them a down, making this 3rd and 6 an opportunity here to put more points on the lead. With with the fact that Florida just scored, they could use every point they can get to try and maintain it.
Can the Florida Storm defense cause a turnover here as Pepper drops back to pass? It looks like the blitz was picked up real well, and Killian is killing them softly again with another great catch, and Tom Pepper is now at 342 yards passing.
I mean, I know that Florida scouts these games. They know how lethal Brett Killian can be. I mean, he will absolutely, as we've said, kill you and kill games. And he was just so wide open. I don't know what the defense was thinking.
And prop to the O-line doing a great job giving Pepper all the time to roll. And Sulu Nakai chance to run the ball. It'll be 2nd and goal. He had big runs before. That one's just a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 6.
Yeah, as a former defensive coordinator trying to face Vancouver, even this close to the end zone, I have no clue what they're going to pass. Are they going to run? It's that indecision and that chess game that makes coaching so great in this league.
And Nakai gets it. He tries to juke that time, but but he gets it to a 2-yard line, a 4-yard gain.
Well, this is where I thought we'd see more of the tight ends come to play. Let's not forget, these are 2 of the highest scoring tight ends in the league. Craig Hearn here, number 88, may be the target for Pepper, although they look like they kind of want to run.
It's now 3rd and goal at the 2. Split backs in the backfield. Sulu Nakai will get it again. And he is unsuccessful. What a goal line stand by the Florida Storm defense. It was 44 on 44 crime on that one. Nicholas Warner makes the great tackle.
Yeah, the Storm defense was stacked, ready to stop the run. That's where you'd like to see your quarterback under center, maybe audible out of it, get you into a nice pass play to take advantage of the defense.
Rakowski is back for the field goal attempt. A 20-yarder. And it's good. Vancouver increases their lead to 13. Florida has a chance to cut into that deficit. They'll get the ball when we return. You're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans 11 Sports. After a successful Rakowski field goal, the Vancouver Legion extend their lead. They're up 27-14. We'll see how Florida responds. They need a touchdown in a worse way to get back in this game. The kick is up, and Robert Merrill takes it inside his 5. He's now at the 20. Does a little juke, bounces to the outside. Had a chance to take it to the house, but great job by number 83. That is Kyle Collins, making sure that Robert Merrill doesn't bust it for a long run.
Well, now the Storm are facing 2 opponents. They're facing the Vancouver defense, and they're facing the clock. We're approaching that 5-minute mark. They're 13 points down, but they have the perfect offensive game plan to get back in this game. They want to pass.
And they got 2 great receivers to the left. They're going to fire over the middle. That should have been picked off. Craven going to be killing himself. He had a chance to put the end in his game with a pick 6, but he dropped it.
Well, Craven his 3rd interception on the season if he would have pulled that one. And, Doug Day and himself out there would be celebrating like crazy if that one had been made.
Yeah, I know the Hamilton family would have been celebrating like crazy. We see a nice picture in our Discord channel of them watching this game, having a great time as the Legion leads by 13. But that's a great spin catch for a first down by the tight end, E.J. Minson.
Well, this guy, as a tight end, he is a versatile receiver who is able to put a little spice in the offensive gumbo here in Florida. But, man, the concentration to allow that defender to flash in front of you and still bring the ball in, tremendous.
Well, they also need to spice it up and hurry it up. They got 4 minutes and 46 seconds left. They need to go in a hurry-up mode. Instead, they give it to J.W. Doyle, who does a nice little move, and now they're entering hurry-up mode. That was a 6-yard gain for Doyle. 2nd and 4 at the 44 at Vancouver's. Cochran will fire it out route to the running back who was able to get out of bounds and get the first down. Another successful run after catch for Weston.
Yeah, and I'm amazed at his ability to catch the ball and then spin into the right position to go forward. Like that little spin of his gets him in perfect position to get a lot more yardage in that first down.
The previous carry by Doyle was just the 4th run for Florida's offense. And it will remain that as we got a pass over the middle. Great catch. If that was a more accurate catch by Bush, he could have took it to the house, but instead, they're in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Cochran will fire it over the middle again, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended to the diving Optimus Klein.
Yeah, and that's a Klein who's 6'4", 225, stretching out with every inch that he has to try and bring that ball in as they are sensing the comeback.
The good thing is that ball went incomplete, so the clock stops momentarily at 4:10. 2nd and 10 at the 18. Trips to the left with Cochran, 1 wide receiver to the right. They're going to fire, and it's incomplete. Great job by the Vancouver defense, especially Kyler Murray and Mark Lopez making sure that Klein doesn't make that catch.
Well, the fact that the clock stop was a double-edged sword. It gets them out of that hurry up, but it also allows the defense to get reset and call a better play. And by doing so, they were able to get a really good defense there on that particular pass. And now this might be one of the more critical downs of this game.
Yeah, they have to get a first down to extend this drive. They have to get a touchdown just to make it a 1-possession game. If they get a field goal, it'll still be 2 possessions for Florida to make a comeback. And great job by Ashley Rose Fitch with the pat down. A very important 4th and 10 coming up for the Storm.
Yeah, and Ashley Rose, we talked about her earlier in this game. Haven't called her name much here in the second half, but I projected she was going to make a game-changing play here, and I think she might just have done it. Big 4th down. They're going for it.
They are going for it. No backs to the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Ron Cochran. Can he convert here on this 4th down? He does! And it's called for a touchdown! The Riverboat Gambler comes through, completes the pass to Stephen Bush, and they cut into this deficit.
Well, it's only Stephen Bush's second touchdown of the season, but it's a big one. It helps really close the gap on this game. And a perfect pass by the Riverboat Gambler as he trusts Bush to be where he needs to be. Actually threw that ball before the receiver was even really past the defender, but Bush, with that little extra boost, able to get that ball, score touchdown.
And Snead will try to cut into this deficit even more. They're trailing by 7. This extra point, if it's good, will make it by 6. And for some reason, Vancouver missed time to jump. The defender missed time to jump, missed the chance to block it. It's now a 6-point deficit for the Storm.
Now the question is, do you onside this ball or do you trust your defense to try and get you the ball back? You've got all 3 timeouts. If your defense can do an effective job, but they may do the onsides here. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like an onside kick. I don't know with how hot Vancouver's offense has been. You will try this early, but they're going to. Now here's the thing. Oh, it's still alive. Vancouver comes away with that. What a play. Unfortunately, I couldn't make out the number there, but great job by the special teams of Vancouver. And now they got a chance to either round the clock or add on to this lead. Or both.
Yeah, nearly a special teams blunder as one of the special teamers for Vancouver actually went to go meet the ball, tried to catch it up there, actually tipped it up and made it a free-for-all.
Here we go. Could we see a healthy dose of Sue Nakai? He will get the ball on this carry. He's now over 100 yards. Listen, another defender in the spin cycle. Poor Ryan Davidson. He got spun out of his shoes on that one. Sue Nakai gets a 9-yard gain, and it's now over 100 yards.
Yeah, it's like Cameron Irvine on the dance floor. Moves upon moves upon moves, and it may not be pretty, but it's effective.
Yeah, that was a pretty run by Sue Nakai there. At 102 yards rushing after that carry. Second inches. He might be getting the ball again. We'll see if the Florida defense can respond. Good job by Pepper making sure that he wastes enough clock before he hikes it. And he got destroyed. It was 44-40 crime again. Nicholas Warner, the outside linebacker, with another great tackle.
Yeah, you think the Storm are a little frustrated in this season. I feel like Nicholas Warner took all of his entire season's frustration and put it into that hit.
If this was the other league, that would have been a penalty. That's why you watch the SFL. We play. We come to play every game. Nakai will get the carry. He gets the first down and gets a couple yards more after the first hit. And that's not what Florida needs. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 28.
Yeah, but it's exactly what the Legion needed now. They're going to have to run another play before this 2-minute warning. And let's not forget Alaska's got all of their timeouts. But even a field goal is just going to make this a difficult comeback for Florida.
They need a turnover in the worst way. Can the Florida defense come through? They had missed opportunities all game so far, but they need to come through in the clutch. As Nakai gets the carry again, he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Frank Champion with the tackle, and we're about to enter the 2-minute warning. Can the Florida Storm's defense come through and keep Vancouver from adding on to this lead? We'll find out when we return. The Legion are up by 6. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Florida Fans on 11 Sports. We'll be back. We have another exciting game here with the Legion up by 6. They have the ball with 2 minutes left in this game. Can they run out the clock and move to 7-1, or can the Florida Storm's defense get a turnover and they need it in the worst way? As Nakai gets the carry. And he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but he's able to get to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. And Florida's first time out.
Yeah, and you may think, well, this is decision time for Vancouver. Do they want to try and get this first down and go ahead and end this game? or do they want to go ahead and just get the, run the ball again, see what happens? I think they'll run because they need these points no matter what, but they're in the shotgun. Wow.
All right. Shotgun, split backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers for the Legion. They look like they about to gamble. They are. They're going to throw the ball. And Kenny Pickett is picked off! What a play by the Storm! Oh, there's Ryan Davidson! He has a chance to take it to the house, but they got by... We're making a great tackle. I said by Killian, I'm sorry. But the Storm got the turnover they needed.
Killian might have just saved this game for Vancouver, but an absolute monster of a play there. Why are they throwing the ball? Why are the Legion throwing the ball in this situation? I realize it's 3rd and long, but goodness gracious, these are the kind of things that happen when you take those kind of risks. Now, Florida has an opportunity to win the game if they can get in the end zone here.
Yeah, they've been hot this second half. Most of the points have been coming in the second half. They got no backs in the backfield. Trips to the left. 1 wide receiver to the right for Ron Cochran. As he gets the pass, he throws it to that receiver to the right. Thankfully, it wasn't picked off. Pass was intended to Bush.
Yeah, but you saw who was near the ball, right? That was Ashley Rose Finch, man. That's a dangerous proposition. She's been all over the field here and making her name known here in the second half. Boy, I wouldn't throw to her side of the field at all.
And she, unfortunately, is another player with missed opportunities. She could have had a lot of interceptions to put the end to Florida Storm's drives. Had another opportunity there, but instead it's now 2nd and 10. 2 timeouts left for Florida as Cochran throws the out route and is caught by Bush for a 6-yard gain, an important 3rd down, as Bush is now at 62 yards receiving.
And this game could come down to another turnover. The Florida Storm wants to throw the ball. They may try to throw in a run here or there, but they've got to conserve the clock. Want to try to save their 2 timeouts. They're going to take those safe, short, deep outs until they see something deeper downfield.
1 back in the backfield. That's Weston. Trips to the right. Klein's all by himself to the left. As we got to play action pass. He's going to fire it to Quine. And he makes the catch. It's a 1st down at the 44. He didn't go out of bounds, so the clock continues to run, and now they're in hurry-up mode. Same formation. Play action pass again. Fires over the middle this time. It's caught for a 6-yard gain. Pass is caught by J.W. Doyle as a receiver. Nice catch by him. Play action pass again. This time the Optimus Klein out route is successful. They give him the 1st down, but he did not go out of bounds. A minute left in this game. Florida's doing a great job moving down the field. This could be an exciting ending to this game. A pass over the middle is incomplete. J.W. Doyle, the 2nd pass thrown his way on this drive, didn't come up with the catch.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They had something in this no-huddle offense here where they just caught the defense in a great position where that play worked over and over and over again and was just matriculating them down the field in a manner that they needed. Now it's put them in great position to win this game.
56 seconds left. No backs in the backfield. Trips to the right. 1 wide receiver to the left. That's Cochran. That's Optimus Klein who gets the pass. He makes the catch, and it's a 1st down. They're inside the red zone. Remember, they're only trailing by 6. A touchdown extra point will give them the lead. With 44 seconds left, Florida will fire it, and it's intercepted. Boy! D. Maddox, his 2nd interception of the game. May have just won it for Vancouver.
In the end zone. T-Roy, what a play. 1-on-1, 50-50 ball. Stephen Bush had an opportunity to try and snatch it away, but it's the defender, Vancouver, in the Florida's house, that comes away with the interception and the game. Unbelievable.
Now Florida has 2 timeouts left. That pretty much could be the ball game now as they call their first timeout. And let's look at that matchup. Stephen Bush was 6'3", 215 pounds.
Dean Maddox?
Dean Maddox, 6 feet.
6 feet, 210 pounds. 10. Yeah, you're right. It's just an unbelievable individual play there. But let me tell you what, they have locked that side of the field down. Dean Maddox and Ashley Rhodes Finch. What a terrific game by that combo.
And that will be the final timeout. They'll get the down the ball, and that probably will be ball game. The Vancouver Legion will improve to 7-1. Still number 1 in this league. They just had one slip up by a certain team's of great victory last week, but they come back in the best way. Defense came through with the interception at the end of the game. Florida will fall to 2-6.
Well, Andy Hamilton, after their loss in Las Vegas last week, said he knew what they had done wrong. The coaches realized the problem and that they were going to get it fixed. And to come into Florida's house and pull out this victory, it clearly looks like they are back on track.
Just a minor hiccup for the Vancouver Legion.
But boy, it was close.
Yeah, it was close. Florida had a chance. Unfortunately for them, D-Max did a great job putting it into this drive and sealing the game away. Another close one is in the books, and we're at the end of the third quarter of this season. The Legion improved to 7-1 with a very close win over the Florida Storm. 27-21. Stephen, what's your thoughts of this game?
Well, clearly Florida came into this game wanting to pass the ball, and they had their success doing so. And with both teams having 3 turnovers, these defenses did their job and came to play. And boy, you've gotta love what you're seeing out of Vancouver. You know, in order to be the best team in this league, you've got to win close games like this. And although it's probably a lot closer than the Legion wanted it to be, they still come out of Florida with a victory, which not a lot of teams can say.
Also, not a lot of teams can say is that they only defended their quarterback, only giving up 1 sack. Tom Pepper was sacked 4 times last week in the loss to Las Vegas. Only got sacked once today. Great job by the star players of the O-line of Vancouver.
Yeah, and give a lot of credit to Florida. They showed a lot of guts in this game. I think maybe me and you both wrote them off a little bit after we saw them being down by so much, and we just know this Vancouver offense just likes to put points on people. But their defense battled back, were able to get just enough stops to give their offense an opportunity to get back in this game. And if it isn't for one amazing play by Dean Maddox and a catch by Stephen Bush, we'd be talking about one of the better comebacks we've seen from Florida. And trust me, we've seen a lot. One of the better ones that we've seen, and another upset back-to-back. What would that have done to the Legion's mindset to have lost 2 games on the road after starting with 6 straight wins? But that's not the case, and Vancouver reestablishes their position in the league, and there's that terrific game-winning interception.
And Steven, you called it earlier. We just saw the replay before this one. Davidson had a chance to take it to the house. If it weren't for Killian making that tackle, Florida could have came back and won it, but the MVP, player of the game, goes to Tom Pepper, passing for over 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 96.0 QB rating. For Tom Rahman, Rochelle Colston at Stats, Cameron Irvine in SFL headquarters, and Stephen Melnick's my partner, this is T-Roy Gaines. Signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please stay tuned for Arizona and Las Vegas coming up next.